I'm Dave. This is the Cyderbaby Pod, and today I'm talking to Marco Mendoza. Hello.
Hello, Dave. How are you, brother?
Oh, I'm not so bad. You're looking well.
Thank you so much. I love your background there. It's very cool. Very,
Well,
very
that one.
cool.
That is a
Yes,
very original Dio poster from the '87 tour. Had it
that's why I
rolled up.
love it.
Yeah, had it rolled up for years and years and years, and
You pulled it out.
yeah, especially I thought, well, these backgrounds for Zoom calls can be a bit boring, but there you
Yes,
go. Anyway.
like me, I'm at home. I have slowly but surely. We moved here before my daughter was born. Faith, I have 5 kids, but uh, she's my youngest daughter, and then my youngest son Max. But before she was born, we were moved here, and it's not relative. It's not a massive place. It's pretty. It's very comfortable, very cozy. We have everything we need. But so we have our first kid, and then and then we have our second kid, and the house starts shrinking, and I slowly get pushed out.
Yeah.
But I used to have my little workstation in my work area, and then one of the bedrooms, and my studio stuff and all that, and which, by the way, I've given up on totally. So I go out on tour, and back in the day, it was you go out for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, sometimes long ones before coming home. So I came home one day, and it's like, guess what? We're pregnant again. We're gonna have another kid. You're out. And all my stuff is in the garage, which is cool. If I really paid attention, I could probably build a nice little thing. But it's been extremely busy, man, for me
Yeah.
these past years. Oh yeah, constantly. Very grateful.
Well, I first come across you with Blue Murder album. I mean, there you go.
Wow, look at that. Nothing but
that's going
trouble.
back a
Way
few
back.
years. Yeah, so is that where you started in the musical history of the rock verse?
No, I started much earlier than that. I actually like to keep it at 40 years so as not to feel so ancient. Uh, because we do from time to time, especially in the morning when we wake up, we'll go, what happened? But no, I started way back. I started playing music, what you call officially and professionally when I was 16. I got recruited. I grew up in Mexico, and I got recruited by some musicians that came from a pretty famous band that had albums, and they were doing big festivals, and they had quite a big profile. And so for me, it was very flattering because I grew up in a little town called Tijuana, which is now big, huge. But a lot of music was happening there. And so it was a bit of a situation there where people knew that there was a lot of music going on. And so I got recruited from there to go touring. We ended up touring all over the place. So it's been a while, man. I've been doing this for quite a while. It's funny when you and I see it happen when you go, wow, overnight sensations. Look, and I know quite a few times, these bands or artists have been around for years and years, and it's just at some point they just break in and they get to be known globally, and they're overnight sensations, kind of thing. But no, I've been at this for a long time. I will say this. Let's just say I fell into everything, every black hole that you can imagine in the music business. I fell into.
Yeah.
The worst part was alcoholism and drug addiction, and it took the best out of me. It ruined pretty much my career, ruined 2 marriages, families, the whole thing. Thank God I came out of it. I was given another opportunity in '87, right. September 20th of '87. I got sober, and thank you, God. And I've been sober since. So 34 years, 34 and a half years. September 20th this year will be 35 years of sobriety, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
Yes. The reason I'm saying that and talking about that is because what I choose to call my new life, my real life, began in '87. So by '89, I had met Bill Ward from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And he was working on his solo project, his first one. And he approached me. We were at a meeting, actually, a 12-step meeting. He was getting sober. He had a few years. And so we hit it off, and he said, I'm working on my new first album. I would like for you to come in. I'm trying to surround myself with sobriety and sober people, the sober environment. And of course, I was like blown away, you know.
Yeah.
And I went into the studio and I ended up playing on that album. It's called Ward One, and with quite a few names, people
Yeah.
that we know in the industry, big names. I'm like, wow. So, needless to say, I was very flattered and I was blown away. That I think was the catalyst that kind of brought me back in. It was, I'm back on the scene. I'm together. You know, I'm sober now. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to bring a lot of baggage. I'll show up on time. I'll be responsible and professional and everything that that comes with. And so that was the beginning. And I think that and the fact that I was playing a lot with I had a project. I'm always doing things on the side. I'm not one to stay put or stop too long because I love what I do. So I put a little jazz, Latin funk jazz trio together in the Valley,
Yeah.
and that kind of started getting a big reputation. People still talk about it a lot all over the planet. And so John Sykes had heard that there was I was playing fretless
Okay.
exclusively,
Yeah.
fretless bass exclusively. And John heard about me, word of mouth, and came in to check me out. And he introduced himself, says, you know, I'm 6, 7 months behind my second album. I have to deliver it. And uh, Tony has moved on and Carmine has moved on and I got to finish this album. Can you come in? Are you interested? Of course, I was a big fan of Tony Franklin's, of the first Blue Murder album. Being a fretless guy, we have an affinity to listen to other cats, you know, the fretless thing. And Pino Palladino was on the map in the big way, and Jimmy Haslip and Alain Caron, Gary Willis. These are the masters. These are the cats. And so the fact that he approached me to say, you know, I'm doing a rock album, but I want you to play fretless. I went, wow, yes. So I went in and we had a great time. We got along well. Next thing you know, I'm touring with John.
Yeah.
And the rest happens. You know, I think we ended up doing I lost track, man. This sounds terrible, Dave, but it's true. I think, yeah, and I need to start paying attention because people ask me, you know.
Yeah.
I think we did 6 albums,
Right.
maybe 7 with John. A few of them were live. So great, you know, great relationship. I'm a big fan of his. I'm still a fan of music, you know, and I'm still a fan of talented folks. And John is one of those cats that just, you know, he sings amazing. He plays amazing. He writes amazing. He's got the whole thing. And of course, he got on the big map with on the big radar with Tigers of Pantang
Yeah.
back when, and then you know, and then Thin Lizzy, and then Whitesnake, of course. So
Of course.
so yeah, man, it was great. It's been a great run, but that was the beginning of my new sober living, if you will. And what a
Excellent.
difference! What a
Yeah.
difference!
Well, let's talk about everything new then, because I know you've got a UK tour coming up pretty soon,
Mhm.
but you've also got a single album in the works. So,
Yeah,
so where do we start? Shall we start with a tour?
you can start with the tour. What happened, and it's an interesting story, and I've been doing a lot of interviews this week and last week. And it's almost like you don't realize until you listen to yourself what is actually happening. And the reality is that I'm not organized, unfortunately. I should be. That side of the brain is just really hard for me. I don't have agendas and I don't have a plan A and go, you know, I'm going to go from point A to B to C and do this. For me, it's just having friends. I have friends around me that support me, that believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And how the UK date started, that little tour. This is what's left of 20, to be honest. We had a bunch of dates in 20. This is what's left over. Last year, I did a short run again against all odds. I went out there with with the pandemic full on and restrictions. I was advised not to. I was like, don't worry, don't even consider doing anything until 20. And So against all advice, I had a gut thing and I went and did it, and it was a complete success last year. It was October, November, really good
Mm.
for all reasons, for all the right reasons. It was great. People were ready to come out. So this is what's left over of 20, because the UK based guitar show was scheduled back in April of 20. So that got moved to 21, spring to the winter 21. And now we're in spring 22. And I spoke to Neil. You got in touch earlier this year and says, it looks like we're going to move forward. Are you interested in still participating? Of course, I'm going to say yes. I'm always up for playing anywhere. And so the deal was done. And then I realized, well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to lose an opportunity to do more dates. Why don't we get some feelers out and see what we can do? Because of the people I know, the connections, the friendships, the venues, the promoters, we put a little 10 date, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 dates together.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened, and of course, I know everybody at the venues after so many years, Trillions, we've been going there with Dave for a while.
Yeah.
In Newcastle, and Christian, who manages Bannerman's, who's a fellow bass player, who's a sweetheart, very supportive, and so on and so forth. I always try to play in London as much as I can when I make it out that way, as much as possible. So that happened, and it's a new venue for me, the Black Heart. So I'm excited, and so that's what it is, Dave. I it's a people business. And as you can tell, I'm a very friendly guy. I will talk your head off.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much, and I apologize.
No,
but I
don't apologize for it.
I connect. I really connect with people. I want to know, the source. I want to go to the source of things, because that's what it is. At the end of the day, we're all helping each other. We're all supporting each other. And again, the fans have been unbelievable through so many years and so many changes and struggles. And, they show up, man, and they show the love, they show the support. And I can't imagine coming on that, going across the Atlantic and not going to the UK. For me, it's just, I get chills just thinking about it. So, because I've been coming there for a long time, and it's part of, my connection, and I love the fans in the UK. They're very, they've been amazing. We have a little book that's called Showtime. We're going to try and support that. That's I forgot to tell you about that, but we're trying to support that because their response has been really cool.
Yeah.
And that's also the product of having a lot of time available, which sometimes we don't have, and all of a sudden 20 hits and 21, and we had a lot of time. We're trying to think of things to move forward. Always try to put another iron in the fire, and another, as long as you don't stay stagnant, and as long as you keep moving forward, that's the music business, what I believe.
Yeah.
And little increments forward really make a difference. So my friend Mark and I been talking about doing a book for years, and the time presented itself available, and we did it. And it was a little bit of work. I can't say enough how talented this cat is, as you can tell. The response for the book, we just said, let's just print a few. Let's see, so, like I said, I never have, I just throw it out there. If it sticks and people dig it, then we go with it, because that's how it is. So I always believe in putting one foot in front of the other and staying away of the results.
Okay.
That's it. Just put it out. So the results have been great. So we're going to print some more, and we're going to promote it. And it all helps to bring awareness to my music, which is the ultimate goal.
Yes.
I've been putting that out for quite a few years, and I found that I like it. I love it. And as long as people want to come hear it, I'll be out there, But I've been busy with other huge projects, as you can imagine. So
yeah. So, I mean, I saw you with Thin Lizzy in Plymouth. God, that must be 8-10 years ago.
Plymouth.
Yeah.
I had I think that was the last time I played in Plymouth, and I have a bad memory about Plymouth, but it doesn't matter.
Don't we all?
I have. I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, I do.
It was a great run. It was a great run, and I don't pride myself in. I've never been a high maintenance person, human
Mm,
being, even though every so often I will indulge and splurge, right?
yeah.
I have children. I have five
Mm,
kids, so that's where I splurge. That's my focus. And my wife, try to spoil them as much as I can whenever. But I went out years ago and bought this watch, and I won't say what it was or whatever, and it was a few bucks.
mm,
And like classic watches, as time goes by, their their worth goes up and
yeah.
up and up. It is worth quite a few bucks. And I never take it on road. I never take expensive stuff on the road for the same reason. And
Mm,
I just said, I'm gonna wear it, man. I love it. And let's just say I took it off backstage in the dressing room. I put it there, not thinking I was in a hurry. I probably did an interview and ran
yeah.
and came back and it was gone. So that's so
Yeah.
so two things. Two things. You got to watch your back.
Mm,
Always be aware of your environment, your surroundings, right? Which I dropped the ball. And the other thing, I wasn't meant to have it. That's it. It's that simple.
that's quite a philosophy, but yeah.
It's very true. So it taught me that, when I think I need or want something, think about it. How important is it in the bigger picture?
Mm.
Was it? It wasn't, because I've been fine without it. Although I've been looking at some watches now. No.
Okay. Let's talk about your new single coming up.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about it.
The single was the first song we actually, Soren and I get together. Soren Anderson, amazing talent in every sense of the word, guitar player, songwriter, whole thing. He was actually my first guitar player when I started doing solo shows.
Right.
And he's from Denmark. He lives in Copenhagen. He's partners with this state-of-the-art studio. It's called Medley Studios in Copenhagen. For
Right.
those of
Okay.
you that are listening, if you're in the area or you want to go to a good place to state-of-the-art, there's plenty of producers and songwriters available there. But so him and I, yeah, we hit it off, man. And we got together one time after a rehearsal. We would go there and rehearse before a given tour. And I remember the boys leaving, and him and I stayed, and we just started writing. And songs just started popping up. It was so easy. It's uncanny. It was like spontaneous, and
Yeah.
it was good, and it was fast, and it was honest, and it was like. So we started documenting. So we did the first album finally, Viva La Rock. That's gotten some great reviews, and
Yeah.
that's opened the door for me actually.
Mm.
So the label said, we like it. We want to pick up the second option. I said, yes, let's go. So we found some time and I went there October of 19. We
Mm.
got together and the first song came, Take It to the Limit, because that seems to reflect what we do as musicians, constantly. We're pushing the envelope. We're like, we get to the edge and then sometimes we don't jump into the abyss, but we take it to the edge. We're always taking it to the limit. And so that's the first thing that came up. And it's reminiscent to a lot of other songs that we grew up listening to, but we wanted to get that message across. So that was the first one. And then when we got back at the end of 19, in November, December, we shot the video.
Right.
And it's pretty decent. So that single is coming out April 13th.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
April 13th, which I'm really excited about. The rest of the album, without sounding pretentious, and I hope I'm right, but it's got some great songs. I hope the reception is going to be good. Like I say, I'm trying not to have too many expectations, so that I'm not let down when if it doesn't fly the way I expect it to. But yeah, it's a great album, man, Dave. I really do. I think the writing is getting better. I think that it's more focused.
Yeah.
It's really, the connection I have with Soren is, I don't find it anywhere else, to be honest. And I know quite a few people, so it's great, man. I'm excited about this album. Unfortunately, 20 happened and kind of took all the steam away from it,
Mm.
because there was a lot of anticipation. There was a lot of talks about the next album and all that, and then it got all deflated. So we're starting from ground zero again.
Mm.
So all the support is appreciated. And like I said, yeah, I'm excited, very, very excited to go back and plug back into the world like we need to plug into, right?
Yeah.
We
So when are you
somewhat
planning to release the album?
the album right now. We will know. We will make an official announcement by the beginning of next week.
Right.
As you can imagine, the machine stopped, and so there's a lot of moving parts,
Yeah. Yeah.
graphic and writing and publishing, and there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to releasing an album and
Yeah.
or music in general. So the first single, April 13th, we're shooting for the end of May, June, the beginning of June for the second single while
Yeah.
I'm on the road,
Hmm.
and then August. Fingers
Hopefully.
crossed.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yes, August, the end of August, beginning of September, because I have another run planned with some festivals that I'm really excited about. So
Ooh.
it'll be cool, man. It'll be another little log in the fire, if you will, another log in the fireplace. So yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. And also, I have to say, people like you, bro. I know I'm talking a lot, but but it's true. I'm being really honest. I had my coffee, you see.
Yeah. 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 I got my tea. It's fine.
Uh, it's people like you that you guys are so instrumental. So I want to thank you personally. I could say thanks to everybody for bringing it out. For spreading the word and supporting the music, which is very important. Live music, to support live music and live music venues these days, because if we're not careful, they're going to disappear.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time, brother. I really appreciate it.
I do this for the love of music. I don't do it
I
for
know.
any other reason. So yeah.
Same
Um.
here.
Okay. Let's tie things up. If I was to ask you for a couple of tracks that defines you as a musician, whether it's songs you've written yourself or songs that you've heard, what songs would you pick?
There's so many, man. And I'm trying not to give the same answer because it fluctuates. It depends on the day of the week, the time
Mm,
of the day, whatever's in your heart and your spirit. But given the fact that we're going through all that we've been going through in the past couple of years, 3 years, um, what allows me to move forward is "Let It Be" is resonating. You know,
yeah.
uh, uh, it's such a beautiful song, and I'm a big fan. I just got chills. Look, phew. Uh, it resonates in such a big way because it's so honest and it talks about us as human beings and dealing where we're at, our environment, the ever changing things and acceptance being at the key of our ability to move forward, the serenity prayer, acceptance, tolerance,
Mm,
patience.
yeah.
Wow. So all those things that I try to adhere to, and sometimes I am human and I forget and I freak out. I start climbing the walls, and then those things resonate. Those songs resonate big. Uh, the long and winding road.
Mm,
Gosh,
yeah.
So yeah, as you can tell, I'm a big Beatles fans, and there's so many songs that come to mind right now. For some reason, the Beatles, Paul McCartney, Lennon, Harrison, and Ringo are in my head, in my
Yeah.
spirit, in my DNA right now, if you will. So those are the songs. I can't compare. I have to say, and I say this humbly and honestly, my writing stuff started way later.
Mm,
I got really busy collaborating and participating in some pretty amazing music and projects and names and bands and all that for many years. So, I didn't pay attention to that side of, and now that I started, I'm really digging it,
mm,
it's really taking it to the next level because you're rolling the dice, man, and I understand that out of every 10, 20 ideas, there's one good one. So that's what it is, man. I'm really excited about this whole process, but those are the songs that resonate. Let It Be, The Long and Winding Road, and then some of my stuff I dig, Viva
yeah.
La Rock. It's just Viva La Rock, the title, song from my last album. Again, we got into the studio and I was buzzing and I was really happy and I'm going, And I was reading these articles by people I know
Yeah.
personally, big names, profiles, big personalities, talking about how rock and roll is dead. It's come to an end. It's not going to be around for any much longer. And I'm going, in my touring, I would always tell my friends, my musicians, that "Viva la rock, brother! Remember, rock is alive" in Spanish, and uh, and that was my way of saying, "Bro, we just got to believe in it and take it where you can take it, and stay out of the results and just put one foot in front of the other." And so I believe in that. That was my way of saying, "Hey, it's music, it's rock and roll, let's go forward." And so those are the songs that when I play the set, I'm going, okay, I remember why we're doing this, why we're
Yeah.
here, and I do some covers on my set that really touch me in a very deep way. God Bless a Child, Billie Holiday, I throw it in every so often. Songs that really left a big, deep mark, uh, It's a Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong, and so on and so forth. They have nothing to do with rock and roll, but they're songs,
But
and they're
it's still music.
yeah. And so yeah, at the right time, you kind of pull those things out of the bag and you put it together and have fun. But so long answer to a short question, brother.
Marco, it's been
Yes,
an
sir.
absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll
Thank you,
let you
Dave.
get on with your day, and I will see
Please.
you on the road.
Yes, sir. See you soon.